Well, Donald Trump is making all kinds of headlines by taking the neoconservative talking points and blowing them up to grotesque proportions. Trump is now beating on the drums of Islamophobia in such an extreme way that he's raising huge alarm bells among all sorts of people, including even the neoconservatives who have created all of this Islamophobia by repeatedly staging false flag terror attacks, beginning before September 11th. The earlier attacks that raised al-Qaeda to the status of a plausible patsy, so it could be falsely blamed for the September 11th Zionist neoconservative inside job, were actually false flags as well. We actually have a tape recording of the perpetrator of the bombing of the World Trade Center, the FBI informant, discussing with his FBI supervisor the fact that the FBI built the bomb that blew up the World Trade Center in 1993. Likewise with the earlier attacks at the American embassies in Africa and the USS Cole. And since 9/11, we've had a series of Zionist neoconservative false flag attacks staged by intelligence agencies linked to the Israeli Mossad, murdering large numbers of people, and all of these have been falsely blamed on radical Muslims. So this wave of propaganda designed by Netanyahu and his American assets has now created an atmosphere of extreme Islamophobia, even though the average American is more than 10 times more likely to drown in his or her bathtub or be hit by lightning than to die in any kind of terror attack. And notwithstanding the fact that of all the terrorist attacks that do happen in the United States, radical Muslims are only blamed falsely in most cases for 6% of them. Radical Jews commit 7%, and leftists and Hispanics commit more than 30%, according to the FBI statistics. So the idea that there is a radical Muslim terror threat is a complete hoax. There is no such threat. It has been invented by the enemies of Islam, the neoconservative Zionists, Netanyahu, Wolfowitz, Cheney, and his friends. Those are the people that have been mass murdering Americans. And so now Donald Trump is grotesquely exaggerating all of this, and the question is why. Some believe that he knows who's really behind this terrorism, and that if he is elected, he will essentially stage a counter coup d'etat, expose, try, and execute the real criminals. Others, and I would say the majority of more sensible people, just see Trump as a blowhard and irresponsible lunatic, and find him, both frightening and humorous. It's hard to say in which proportions. So we're living in a very strange time, and it will be interesting to see what the next few months bring now that the San Bernardino shooting has been exposed by multiple eyewitnesses as having been carried out by three large white paramilitary men. And this is the attorney for the people blamed for those shootings has blown the case wide open. It will be interesting to see if the Western governments can continue to allow these false flag hoaxes to stoke public fears about a non-existent Islamic terror threat, or whether, on the other hand, we will actually see some justice, we will see the forces of sanity arresting the people at Kraft International or the other paramilitaries who've been killing people in attacks falsely blamed on Muslims, and allowing this information to reach the broad masses of the public.